So Robert is asking, does the word innocent mean good?
That is a really great question, Robert. And my apologies right now. I am I prepared an answer for you, and my computer decided to do things I don't want it to do. So give me 1 second as I go into it. But I did want to first start with looking at, when you're talking about good and you're talking about innocent, basically. Does innocent mean good? And they couldn't be synonymous in some ways, but let's first look at the definition of innocent. Innocent basically means to be like not guilty, right? So basically, you did not do something bad. And sometimes innocent is also associated with like purity. So being pure, not having been defiled, not doing anything wrong. Jesus was innocent even when he was accused and crucified. He was innocent of any crimes. He never did any wrong. um, and then you look at other people in the Bible who are called innocent, and the first one that pops into my mind is Daniel, when he was in the lion's den, and you see in Daniel chapter 6 where he you know uh, King Darius, after the full night in the lion's den, Darius comes out, the king, and says, is the God whom you serve continually able to deliver you from those lions? And Daniel says, O king, live forever. Yes, my God has sent his angel to shut the lion's mouth. He said, because innocency was found before him, before God. Daniel was innocent and had done no wrong in God's eyes. And he says, and before you, O king. So he had done nothing wrong against the king. And so that's why um, God was able to answer Daniel's prayer and, spare him his life in that situation. And so, which is kind of interesting because Jesus was innocent and he was killed. Daniel was innocent and he was not. So, um, you know, either way, these men were innocent and they received, glory because of it. However, good is an interesting word because good means something that's pleasing. That's something, what is very broad, word, especially in English, because we can say good about anything. Like my food is good. Like basically, it tastes in a way that pleases me. Um, like you could say, oh, something you watched was good or not. Your clothes look good. Your hair looks good. Good just means like something that is pleasing, basically, to somebody else or to yourself. But when in the Bible, the word good, Jesus takes that word very seriously. Basically, it means, uh, just he says, somebody approaches him and says, good master, what must I do to enter the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus says, hey, like, only one is good, and that is God. And so, in the Bible, it talks about how, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And because God is alone, his character is truly good. He has no wickedness in him. We've all been tainted by sin, but God and God alone is only really and truly good. And so, in that sense, meaning it is in a sense innocent because there's nothing bad. There's no wickedness in God. There's no lie. God cannot lie. There is nothing to defile within God himself. Us in our sinful state, we're all sinners. We've all, made mistakes. Our character by itself, without God's help, is going to lead to sin. The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? But God alone, when he declares his name, he says, to Moses in, I believe it's Exodus 34, where Moses says, declare your glory, tell me your name. He says, I will declare my name to you. And he says, I am the Lord God, merciful and abundant in goodness and truth. And so we are not that way. Without God, we tend to sin, we tend to selfishness, we tend to be unmerciful and unkind and not good. But God and God alone within himself, their very essence of God's being is good and is love. So there is a bit of a difference between, especially biblically speaking, innocent meaning, not bad, and good meaning, also in a sense, nothing bad, but also just, pleasing, in the way that is pleasing to God, which, like Jesus said, when you think about, he says, I do the will of my Father and do only those things that please him. He never does anything selfish. It's everything to please God, to be a blessing to others. And so I guess that's more, I guess the the difference between innocence and good. Innocent means, not bad, not guilty. Good meaning doing things that are pleasing, or things that other people like, which obviously we want to only please God, which would, be a, unselfish, um, un, nothing bad in it too, but also, something beneficial. I guess that's more what it is, beneficial or pleasing to God and to those around us. So